Next question.
Throughout modern history, the musicians have often been the voice of the common man's dissent against the ruling class. The man. Stick it to the man. What is the current musical movement that is dissenting against the official narrative?
Well, look, yeah, this is accurate, right? There's always, it seems going to be a rebellious streak that comes from music that's trying to push the envelope. At one point, it was rock and roll, right? Then it moved into sort of like psychedelic rock, and then that sort of heavy metal, punk, hardcore. You had rap come in. Now, as these musical genres get more popular, they actually get taken over by the man, right? I mean, you end up with pop, punk, and hair metal. That's what happens, right?
Boy bands.
Yeah, boy bands.
Bro, boy bands is the ultimate takeover by the man.
Yeah.
The ultimate, if you ever look into how those are made.
Yeah, no, they are. They're manufactured. Are there still? Yeah, there's still bands that are out there that you just have to go a little bit deeper. I think you just have to go a little bit deeper. In fact, right now the accessibility to the rebels is very accessible. Yeah. Like when I was a kid, you know what's funny? I love music, and when I was a kid, I didn't have that many records because it was hard to find good records. And when you did find them, they cost $18, which was a ton of money. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, you just type into YouTube, Viking folk metal, and you got it. There it is. It doesn't even cost you anything, right? Yeah. You can, desert stoner rock. You put it in there. There it is. You can go deep. You could listen to stoner rock for the rest of your life and not even listen to it all. Yeah. That's just the way it is. Mm-hmm. So all that music's out there. There's all kinds of just radical kind of music that's out there. There's this band I've been listening to called Heilung. It means healing in Norwegian or and they're up there on stage. There's like 14 people in the band. They're playing all these different instruments, and when I say different, I mean different. They're playing like bones. They got femurs and goat skin drums and horse heads that they're banging on. And there's a guy that kind of sings in a sort of death metal-ish type thing, and there's some chanting going on. And then there's this woman named Maria Franz who's got some pipes on her, and she's wearing this weird antler outfit with antlers on her heads. So look, man, it is out there.
Well, it's out there. All right.
The stuff is out there. And I don't think you need me to point you to it. I think you go and just start exploring what's out there, and you'll find it.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Here's the challenge, though, where with unlimited accessibility comes unlimited choice, and it's like you ever go to a restaurant and the menu's like 5 pages long, and you're like, okay, you find you're good because a lot of things sound good, and not to mention it's like, man, you come across the thing that looks good. Hey, I'm just gonna get that, bro. I'm not gonna read this whole menu. And then years later, you go there all the time, and someone's like, hey, you ever been in this restaurant? You say, yeah, I go there all the time. I get this, and then they say, oh, okay, well, I get this. And I'm like, dang, I didn't even know they had that.
I don't try the other stuff.
Yeah, see, and that's kind of part of my point right there.
Yeah. You're right. And I'll tell you, I do mostly listen to the same music that I've been listening to my whole life, which is kind of lame, right? Because shouldn't I be doing? Well, I guess I do get out there. Here's where I thought you were going with this. When I was a kid, the first thing I wanted to know when I met someone was, what kind of music do you listen to? Because to me, that kind of told the story of who that person was. Whereas nowadays, what's everyone's answer? Everything.
Yeah.
And guess what? It's not true. People really do listen to everything, because you know why? An album doesn't cost $18.
Yeah.
An album is free, basically. So everyone goes, yeah, I listen to that. I listen to this other thing.
Yeah.
I think it's not bad. It's not good. It's just different.
Yeah.
People have more broad musical taste now than they did. When I was a kid, you didn't get that. You weren't able to do that. Yeah. You just listened to the 7 albums that you had. That's it. You were stuck.
And that's not to mention that the albums back in your day they're more distinct, you know, where if it's like, hey, you like rock? Oh, here's a rock album. Oh, you like rap? Here's a rap album. You like, you know, country, whatever, you know, here's a country. Like now, bro, there's so much fusion and new things. It's like, man, you got freaking, what's his name? Well, I don't know their names, but there's like a country music, Old Town Road, and the rapper and the country guy, and they're doing a song, and it's a massive hit. You know, it's like, okay, like it's like, oh, I listen to country. Okay, here's some country. Oh, wait, that's not country, that's rap. Oh, well, it's both. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, so you asking, what kind of music do you listen to, kind of thing? It's like, okay, that's less of a thing now.
Doesn't make it happen anymore.
Hey, you ever listen to like do you listen to like rap? Because you listen to essentially one kind of music even now, right? Or just a couple?
No, I don't think that's necessarily true because I listen to metal, right? I listen to Black Sabbath.
Sure, hell yeah. I was listening to Ozzy Osbourne on the way over here.
There you go. So I do listen to that, but I listen to hardcore for sure. That's sort of the main staple of the whole diet. But I listen to rock and roll too. What were you asking?
What's your favorite rap song or hip hop song? And I'm not even necessarily right now. I'm saying ever, like before, one that you'd put on, if any.
I don't know. Maybe LL Cool J.
Hell yeah.
Maybe. I mean, NWA's first album. I mean, come on. That's just freaking
undeniable.
Yeah.
It's undeniable. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of times, Tupac. Even if people don't listen to rap, they listen to Tupac. Because he kind of like, he's a lot more poetic, you know, and maybe they appreciate that even if they're not necessarily into the style or whatever. It's interesting. Yeah, but so back to the selection and accessibility.
I mean, when I was a kid, Run DMC was like issued to you.
Oh, yeah. Run DMC. He's good,
because I'm from the East Coast.
Yeah.
You know, and from outside New York. And Run DMC was... would you say? They were undeniable.
Yeah.
It was Run DMC. It was a whole... There
was a movie with Run DMC and it was about the rap.
But the thing is, Run DMC, NWA, they had riff-driven rock and roll, sampling.
Yeah.
And so, of course, you're listening to it when you're a kid like me. You're like, oh, well, you recognize that. That's a guitar riff.
Yeah, remember Run DMC did a fusion song with, what's his name? Aerosmith. Yeah, remember that? Yeah, Walk This Way.
Yeah.
That was your jam right there.
No, actually, if you could see the look on my face, I was already kind of, come on. You know why?
Why?
Because when that happened, it was like the man was taking it.
Oh yeah, it was too. So it was too poppy, mainstream.
Yes, it was the man was taking it away.
It wasn't.
So we didn't like underground. It. I'm one of those people like a little bit of a music snob.
Yeah, I gathered that from you a little bit.
This is we like it to stay old school.
Yeah, like you're the kind of guy who, and what we were talking about earlier offline, how like. You'll be like, no, this underground artist, metal or whatever you listen to, this artist, way less well-known, is way better than this mainstream artist.
Well, a lot of times they actually are.
Oh, what do you mean actually are? See that? And that proves my point right there. Yeah. Under what circumstances? What do you mean better? Album sales?
Okay,
no.
I'm going to throw something back at you. No, I'm going to throw something back at you. Because you've been using this example with me lately, right? What's better? This artist, this music artist that sold this many records, or this one, and you're always like, well, the guy sold more, therefore they're better.
No,
okay.
I never. No,
okay.
I didn't say that. Nope.
Okay, what's better, steak or McDonald's? McDonald's sells more, right?
Yeah, it's true. So yes, first off, I would never say that. I would never say, oh, this guy sells more, so he's better, because that's why I always say, like, if you notice, I'll be like, depends on what you mean by XYZ. The word better is always, or very oftentimes, one of those things that I'll say that about, because, and that was my whole argument when I had that quote unquote debate with my friend Tim, our friend Tim, where he's saying this underground rapper is better than Lil Wayne or whoever. I was like, but what do you mean by better? Because I could make the argument, I'm not making it, but I could, that Lil Wayne is better because of, and then I start naming this criteria: album sales, awards, by the people, how many awards and album sales does your underground guy have? And then it's way less. So it's like, cool. I'm not saying he's worse or better. I'm just saying you got to measure it by or you have to measure it a certain way. See what I'm saying?
Cool.
Now, that
I
being
measure
said,
things by what I think is better.
what you think is better. Oh, yeah.
And I'm right.
And you're right. Okay. And the thing is, though, you do have a point, though. And so Tim, he started saying, well, if you listen to the lyrics, they're more complex and all this. And I was like, now you're onto something. Because just like if you have the McDonald's or we'll say fast food comparison to like a, I don't know, steak or whatever. And you're like, well, McDonald's sells trillions of hamburgers, so they're better by that metric. Cool. If you're measuring quote unquote better by that standard, yes. But there is a lot to be said for certain elements that are less tangible.
Check.
Not intangible, less tangible. See what I'm saying? And I think we all can sense that a lot of the time. That's the current conundrum. That's what I think. Next question.